What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeremy Wormy, and I'm coming at you with another video, and we've been talking more and more about the Warhammer 40K situation that's been going down ever since they decided to gaslight the audience and attack the general customer base after doing a major retcon and implementing a female custodian member. And when it comes to the situation, the long and short of this major situation isn't the retcon and isn't the female custodian member themselves. Yes, according to lore, there has never been a female custodian member up until this point. Nothing in lore said that there could ever be a female custodian member. It was all kind of more looking like they were always men. I mean, specifically throughout lore, it was always saying that was men, and we'll go deeper into that as time goes on. But when it all came out and when this was said, instead of saying, hey, we are doing a retcon, instead of actually working hard to do said retcon and actually put a lot of work and effort into said retcon, they decided to just come out here after being asked about it and simply responded with this. Since the first of the 10,000 were created, there have always been female custodians. Yeah, no, because Grums points it out very, very specifically right here in this tweet, and I like to pull up Grums because Grums is also a major Warhammer 40K fan. He's been talking about doing Warhammer 40K for I don't know how many years, actually making a lot of models for it, actually being very interested in the game itself, and he knows a lot about the lore. And when you actually come to some of the lore from the Warhammer previous codex, both 7th and 8th editions of the Custodians codex, well, you have Brotherhood of Demigods, right here. It's known that all custodians begin their lives as infant sons of the noble houses of Terra. It is a mark of incredible prestige to surrender one's child to this most glorious of callings within the Imperium, and many noble clans amongst the Terran aristocracy have willingly given up almost entire generations of newborn sons to earn it. And continuing on, a new identity upon culmination, allowing every dynasty that had offered up its sons to claim their children as their successful ones, alive and well amongst the Golden Brotherhood. Sons, for decades, for literal decades, the Custodians have been sons of the noble houses of Terra. And yeah, through this lore change, they ended up changing it to say, well, they could be anything. They whatnot. That we never specifically said they were sons. I know the Warhammer lore is specifically broken up, unreliable, could be all sorts of stuff. It's insane. It's crazy. It goes all over the place. But the thing is, for the longest time, it was the sons of the noble houses of Terra. Now, I'm of the opinion that you could have done this retcon. It would have taken a ton of work, but instead of actually doing said work, you threw it in there, you just had it done, and then instead of actually, again, doing the work, when faced with actual criticism, you started attacking the audience, you started banning the audience, and you started gaslighting the audience. That is the ultimate controversy here, is how Games Workshop started to actually attack the fan base and attack the people that were more critical of said retcon and how they implemented said retcon. This has then led to numerous Warhammer 40K fans actually boycotting it, saying that, hey, we'll just go out and get a $200 3D printer and start printing that off. They started canceling subscriptions to certain Games Workshop apps, and they were done. You also had fan websites come out and attack Warhammer 40K fans as being bigots simply for disliking the Games Workshop lore change, for just simply pointing out, the issues. What, are we going to be getting Brothers of Silence or Brothers of Battle now? No, because that's stupid, because the Brothers of Battle would end up being Space Marines and the Brothers of Silence would be Custodians. But hey, why actually use any lore? Well, over on the Warhammer YouTube page, you actually had them put out a Adeptus Custodia YouTube video discussing, minor parts of their lore, just giving you a general breakdown of it. And it got ratioed. On their YouTube channel 4 days ago, sending out a 9.3K on their YouTube channel. But it keeps getting better because despite the backlash, despite the constant push and the declaration of fans that, hey, we don't like this, and despite how fans have been walking away from 40K now, saying simply that, hey, you treated us like garbage, we don't want this, you're, turning away from the Sisters of Silence. And, you go through this comment section, they're always talking about the Sisters of Silence. Why can't we get more Sisters of Silence, Sisters of Silence, Sisters of Silence, which would actually be the more female branch of the Custodians themselves. They work hand in hand. It's very awesome. Also, the Sisters of Silence keep getting shafted because they don't really have very many figures, but hey, female Custodians are what we need to do now. Female Custodians. Well, ever since a lot of this stuff, it appears that Game Workshop is actually doubling down on gaslighting its hobbyists over female Adeptus Custodes and Warhammer 40K. Now, I showed you in the past, in the previous codex via Grums, they specifically said sons of the nobility of Terra. They have said this over and over and over again. This is a ongoing theme. They were the sons of the nobility of Terra. That is what it has always been for decades at this point. Well, and their beginner's guide for the Adeptus Custodians, gives you some lore, gives you some background, gives you some information on the actual Custodians themselves. And when you actually scroll down to their explanation site and you come in right here, potential Custodians are taken in at a very young age to better survive the rigors of their transformation, no older than late infancy, for the fundamental changes that will be wrought upon their flesh, minds, and souls are tantamount to apotheosis. It is considered a great honor for those of Terra noble houses to submit a child. So now, after actually retconning the lore, actually enforcing a female custody, pushing this forward, attacking fans, gaslighting fans, after fans have pointed out for years it has always been this way, they're now coming out here and, well, using the loophole of how the lore actually works and just saying, you know what, here you go. We're just taking out the word sons. So now it could be anything. So now we can do anything. All while continuing to double and triple down on their disrespect of the lore, disrespect to fans, disrespect to every aspect of Warhammer 40K thus far. And again, I firmly understand the Warhammer 40K lore is broken up, constantly changes. New stories can come out here that can make you rethink a way a story has been going up for this while. It's kind of how this lore is made. It's actually really cool. It's really interesting. I've been getting deeper and deeper into the lore. I've been actually looking at like what factions do I like outside of orcs, because orcs are still the coolest. If you guys can all fight me on that one. Besides all this, as you start staring at this, the fundamental problem with this whole situation has always been that instead of addressing actual concerns, instead of addressing actual comments from the fan base, because when you actually look at this, the person that initially initiated this entire back and forth was this guy right here. Just said, why did you make female custodians? Since the first of the 10,000 were created, there have always been female custodians, which is not true. Actually, even kind of goes against the whole lore as it has been for many, many years. Ever since you started attacking fans, blocking fans, gaslighting fans, that is what stirred up the drama. That is what stirred up every ounce of this. And you can have people coming out here like Bell of Lost Souls saying we're just bigots because we don't like female custodians. You can have former Games Workshop employees come out here and try to justify the retcon, saying there's no such thing as fact, and pushing against actual fans and customers and people that actually care about this lore and have sunk thousands of dollars within the game itself, because again, this is a high bar to entry game. You can gaslight them and you can say all that to those people all you want. You just hate women. You just hate women. Why don't you want to accept women into your fan base? All while ignoring the fact that there's the Sisters of Battle and the Sisters of Silence, both of which are all female factions of the Imperium. It ultimately boils down to, if you just treated your fans with respect to begin with, you probably wouldn't have had this issue, and it probably wouldn't have blown up in your face as big as it did. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.